For in this video, I talk about different ways that we can connect with the runes. Um, I break it down into 3 levels. The first level is really all about learning about the shape, the sound, and its meaning. So for Feiyu, it's basically learning the shape and learning about what it means in the sense of it's movable wealth or cattle, but really it's anything that is of value that we can take with us as we move on to wherever we're going. Um, and its sound is just the F sound. So that's the first layer. And then the second layer is studying the rune poems and learning, studying rune stones and runic artifacts, and kind of getting a gist of how runes were used historically. And then the next layer, or the third level, is really about studying the Eddas and the sagas and any of the magical texts that are out there, and common modern correspondences. So those 3 layers are ways to, in my experience, ways of connecting with the runes, really, and learning about them and starting to integrate them into your life. Rune yoga, in particular, focuses primarily on the first level, which is focusing on the runic shapes and bringing it and embodying it within ourselves, and the Galder sounds, the root intonations or vibrations that we slowly bring deeper and deeper within ourselves, and then working with what they're pointing to. So, for instance, with Feiyu, one meditation that we can do is to actually try to expand our consciousness to experience reality from the standpoint of not only as the person that owns the cattle and that experience of feeling the wealth and like security that you have food and milk and butter and stuff, but also be the cow and kind of experience it from that reality. And by doing that, it helps us infuse and bring that energy into ourselves. And then when we use the Galder sounds, then it like really aligns us with that vibration and makes it so that with the mind and the body and the vibration and all that, all those things together, all those practices, it really connects us with the rune on an energetic level, and that's part of rune yoga. In addition to working with the body's energy and developing ourselves and everything else I talked about in the previous video. Yeah, so in the last video I talked about the practice, and I mentioned doing the runic warm-up sequence, and I'm going to do that after this video because I wanted to talk a little bit about working with stadas in the sense of like I'm just going to talk it through with Feiyu because it's the first rune, and in later videos I'll get more in depth on each of the runes and really develop like different things, meditations and things we can that I've worked with. Right. So with Feiyu, I often will just go for my eyes and then move out, so that I try to keep things somewhat that it mimics the shape, because part of that is that as we get into these shapes, the blood flows, the nerves, everything flows in its own unique way, and so that is part of the energy. That's a more tangible aspect of energy, and so that when that's affected, it actually affects multiple layers of energy within ours. Yeah, so when you're in a sthata, you don't want to be rigid. You don't want to have like your things locked up, because that has its own energy. And one of the things that I work with is trying to get the body's energy to flow smoothly. So in doing this, and this is one of the things I learned from Tai Chi, is to and Qigong, is to keep it so that you're not rigid, you're flexible, you're loose. Only the muscles that are really necessary for holding the posture have some tension because you're using them, but otherwise you're wanting to relax the body and then just rest in this place. And while doing that, so each rune has, you know, something to teach. So in urus, I talk about rooting, and with Gabo, balance. Gabo is all about balance, and you know, so each rune has something of value to teach us, even on the physical level of just doing yoga itself. Uh, let's see, what else is there to say really off the bat? So I guess that kind of like solidifies some of that. So it with the stadas, just keeping your awareness present with what you're doing, and just really just pay attention to the internal sensations, and just eventually as you get more and more aware of the sensations of the body, you'll start to notice really subtle shifts in energy. So all right, and so then with the Galder, which is another way that we touch in with the rune's essence, is to for me, I work with 3 different forms of Galder. So my primary use is I'm really just working with the root sound, so the basic letter sound. So with Feu, it's just the basic F. And so as I do that, at first, you know, very audibly, I try to just feel what's going on in my body. Like, how is the air escaping me? What's the sound? How does it feel? Like, those are the meditations that I do when working with the Galder. So that's the primary way I work with it, and starting loud and then internalizing it, so bringing it lower and lower and lower and bringing it in, so and really following the sound and the sensation is what helps bring us in within the body, within the mind, what really brings us into that space. And in my experience, things around, just all the noises and stuff just kind of muffle out and no longer distract. A second way that I use Galder is to do with the with the vowels. And this, I mean, the first time I came across it was like a 2nd century Coptic text, and then List, and I think Kumar. I don't remember actually if it was Kumar or Marby that worked with the vowel sounds. I think it was Kumar. And yeah, so with Feu, you can go through the vowels fa, fi, fi, fo, fu, and you could do it quick. You can drag it. You can do the short and long vowels, so fa and fe. You know, just to be able to, because each vowel has its own unique vibrational impact on us, and so working with that, in particular with Degas, I'll work with the root sound, but then I oftentimes will, and each one is more external. You know, you're bringing it in and feeling the vibration. And a large part of the physical side of Rune Yoga is all about working with the body's energy and channeling that energy up the spine, which I'll talk more about in later videos. But yeah, so those are like the 2 primary ways, and then working with visualization in particular. So with Feu, let's say, well, let me do Gebo. So like for me, the part of the visualization is giving a gift or receiving a gift or exchanging gifts. You know, that sense of bonding and creating good relations. So for me, that's one of the visualizations that I do with that rune. And so first and foremost, when working with visualization, it's just really about being able to see the rune in your mind's eye, right? So I should be able to close my eyes and visualize it, about like right there in my mind's eye, right? And and sometimes just like standing in a mirror, creating that shape even, right? And then just seeing that, you know, the gebo, right? So you see it, and then internalize it. That's so the first is like this external visualization, be it something outside yourself or just, you know, a mental image within your mind. But then you're internalizing it, so you're bringing it in, and you become, right? You are the gebo, like literally. You're visualizing yourself, and at the same time you're doing that, you're also doing its Galder sound and internalizing it. And then the last layer is that the third visualization exercise that I work with is in this particular case, I'm envisioning giving a gift. Like I am there giving a gift and receiving a gift. Like there's that good exchange, that balance. So yeah, so that basically, those are the things that Rune Yoga really focuses on, and like connecting us with the runes. So anyhow, so next video I'm gonna do the sequence, and hopefully this will give you something, because I still got a few videos introducing different areas of Rune Yoga, and then I'll start getting into the individual runes. So, but I wanted to offer something physical and tangible that you can still work with. So, yeah. So tune in next video. You Odin, Thor, Freyr, Freya, Sif, Frigga.